that December 25th was the birthday of the Messiah, right? But now there's a lot of information out there. So now people kind of caught on to the fact that Christ was in fact not born on December 25th. So most people know that at this point. Most people are not ignorant of that fact, right? So since we know and understand that, especially people that believe in Christ, why is it that we continue to celebrate this day? And if you do just a little bit of research, you will find that Christmas originated from a pagan festival, a pagan Roman festival named Saturnalia, okay? And some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not heard of this. This holiday was probably the most sinful holiday that you could think of in your mind. The things that were happening during that day were just very, very evil inside of God, just like what they were doing, right? And that tradition turned into what we call Christmas, and a lot of the things that they were doing, we do on Christmas, right? Now, I'll put some of the details of what was actually going on that holiday down below. You can read it. I encourage you to go look up what Saturnalia was. And essentially, it was a day to worship the god of Saturn. That's the name Saturnalia. Now, this day was also the literal birthday of Tammuz, which was the son of Nimrod. Now, people also say it was Nimrod's birthday, which is correct as well, because even though Tammuz was Nimrod's son, he was supposed to be him incarnate. So basically, it was him living again. So here's the thing. Saturnalia was actually celebrated during the winter solstice, right? And the winter solstice was basically supposed to be representing the shortest day of the year. During the spring, we have the spring equinox, right? And during that time, what holiday do we have? We have Easter, right? And so Easter is actually representing the goddess of fertility, hence the name Easter. That's literally where the name Easter comes from. Or it is pronounced Eostra. This is actually the same exact goddess I mentioned earlier, named Semiramis, who is the wife of Nimrod and who had Tammuz, whose birthday falls on December 25th. Now, these figures set themselves up as gods, and there are many different cultures that celebrate these three as divine beings. And what you'll find is that even though they have different names, like I just said, one is named Easter or Eostra, that is the goddess of fertility, but the ancient Babylonians called her Semiramis, but nevertheless, it's all the same goddess. She's also known as Ishtar or Isis, right? And so this god, Nimrod, who was the husband to Ishtar or Semiramis or Easter, whatever you want to call her, right? He was also known as Osiris in Egypt. And so the spring equinox, right, is representing new birth. And so that's essentially what Easter is celebrating. Because again, there's completely no evidence that Christ resurrected on that day. It's just so happens to fall on a pagan holiday, right? Just so happens to fall on the day that this fertility goddess is pregnant with the son of Nimrod, right? Not only that, but this goddess claimed to have found a dead tree stump, right? It was an evergreen tree, and there were leaves growing from this dead tree stump. And Semiramis also put gifts under this evergreen tree. And this is why people put gifts under their tree. So this goddess claimed that she's seen a full-grown evergreen tree spring up out of a dead tree stump, right? And she claimed that this meant that there was new life for Nimrod. And essentially that was through his son Tammuz, right? And so again, this falls on Easter. This is March. 9 months later, we got what? Christmas, which was the day that Tammuz was born. It all adds up. It all adds up. And none of this stuff has anything to do with the birth of Christ.